I'm not going to pander to the left. I'm not going to back down to the crazy right. I'm going to work with anybody to get the job done. I'll work with Democrats. I'll work with Republicans. I'll work with moderates. I'll work with progressives. I'll work with anybody to get the job done. And even if we don't agree with each other on a particular issue, I'll work with you if you really want to help the people. So I'm not going to abandon my values because I believe in what I believe, and you believe in what you believe, but I'll work with anybody to get the job done. I'm sick and tired, and I think the people are sick and tired of everybody saying, I'm not talking to you because you're one of those, or you're one of the... That's not working. Every problem we have in society is complicated. And you cannot solve a complicated problem in an environment of fear and anger. It's got to be people of goodwill, and I can tell you're a person of goodwill, that are willing to sit down across from each other and say, listen, I don't agree with you on this, and you may not agree with me on that, but let's find out what we can agree on to actually help the people. Because that's what's killing our country, and that's what's killing our state. Because it's all controlled. When everybody's fighting with each other, when everybody... Is this back? What is that? Who's that? Former gang member. when people are divided and people are yelling, this, the Russians and the Chinese are actually trying to spread messages amongst us to get us mad at each other. I mean, we're doing it ourselves with politicians pandering to the base and social media and cable news. But even our foreign adversaries, they want us all fighting with each other. Because when we're fighting with each other, we can't get anything done. We can't fight them.
A follow-up question to that. Now, I was on the Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council when mayoral control came in, and he mentioned CECs. We fought to have it CDECs, Community District Education Councils. Through the 25 years of mayoral control, and Mayor Bloomberg wanted to do away with the districts. And this is what you've had with mayoral control. They took the word district out and rewrote it so even he knows it's CEC when it's really CDEC. Okay?
Listen, everything in life is a balance. Okay? The reason for mayoral control is because there was no accountability. The argument
still isn't.
The argument was there was no accountability. The running the schools, you didn't have anybody you could blame for what we saw with failing schools in the city of New York especially, okay? I'm out in Long Island. We have a different system, obviously. We have, like, ultimate parental involvement because you have elected school boards that run everything. So it's a balance. And what we need is to bring that balance back, and I totally agree that we need more parental voices involved. But let's take another question and get to another topic, okay? Who else wants to ask this? Yes, sir. Now, what was your name again? Earl Anderson? Earl Anderson. He was on the telephone call the other night. He says he's going to give me a zinger of a question right now.
All right. 2014 New York Times article, proposed Metro North station for Co-op City, Parkchester, Hunts Point, and Morris Park. Okay? 2021. Another article saying that the plan has been approved. 2021, the governor says a contract has been awarded. This week, the stations will be done in 2027. I bet you the Buffalo Stadium will be completed before 4 Metro North stations are completed. Co-op City has 50,000 residents. The surrounding area has over, I'd say probably 500,000 residents that would be using these stations. What do you feel about that?
I'm going to make a big issue out of that. Okay, I'm going to Co-op City right after this. And that's a great issue for me because when I was the county executive in Nassau County, one of the jobs that I was appointed to was chairman of the New York Metropolitan Transportation Committee. Okay? They're the ones who plan all the big projects for, like this, big infrastructure projects for the region. And it was complete BS. It was a bureaucratic thing that just was run by the bureaucrats, and the elected officials really didn't know what the hell was going on. And nobody ran the thing. Too often the politicians, listen, New York State is a $220 billion enterprise. It's bigger than any Fortune 500 company. Think about that, $220 billion. That's bigger than, any big giant company you can think of. New York State's bigger than that. And it's run often by someone who makes a good speech who never ran anything before in their life. And I'm making a big point in this campaign, and I was trained as a CPA. I worked for Arthur Anderson and Company. As a matter of fact, I was telling you before, I lived in Trinidad and Tobago for 3 months because I audited the Texaco refinery down there. And then I went to Bedford-Stuyvesant for 3 months in 1986. You think Williamsburg was different in 1986? You should have seen Bedford-Stuyvesant in 1986. But I'm trained as a CPA and attorney. I was a mayor, county executive. I know how to run things in government. So that is an example of things being terribly run. Because that can happen fast. I know from my experience, you can get things done much faster